diehard Kanye fans are ruining music reviews. Okay, now off that, y'all probably gonna be like, Kayhon, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Well, I'm about to get into it, gang. This is all stemming from the Vulture's unreviewable one review that Anthony Fantano gave to Vultures. Now, if you haven't seen the video, to give a quick summary, he basically says you're unable to separate the art from the artist in this instance because Kanye went on an anti-Semitic run like the past year, and this album has traces of his anti-Semitism. Okay, so basically Anthony Fantano is saying you can't separate it. I'll put some clips in here for you too, in case you haven't seen it.
You can't separate this crap from the music because it's in the music. Look at the lyrics. Read these words. They have meaning and they are saying things that are not good or normal. You would have to expect me to separate my brain from my skull if you...
I think that his review was unreviewable take was not the craziest, most wild, most controversial thing ever, bro. And to be honest, he's just a regular person, okay? Like, he ain't doing nothing crazy. He ain't doing nothing off the wall wacky. But everybody, bro, he is getting cooked on Twitter. And I'm not talking about, like, slow roasted. I'm talking about people are trying to kill the man, okay? People are threatening his life. And most of those are memes, but I know there's some diehard Kanye fans that are going crazy right now. I know they're mad, bro. They're heated. But I want to go through some of these because some of these are wild. So this is from Hip Hop by the Numbers, which Anthony Fantano reposted here. So that's how I found it. But this was just the announcement that the video dropped about why he doesn't post about the album. Or this person's talking about why they don't post. And just look at the comments, bro. This one says Fantano made sure to still make money off the album. That's fine. He's giving his reason why he doesn't want to post about it, but he's gonna make his money. He's a businessman. Okay, he's a businessman. This one's the inability for you guys to separate the art from the artist is so immature. So that is one take that I want to talk about. A lot of people that say you should separate the art from the artist. My personal stance is it really is dependent on what that artist is talking about. I think in the broader example of you can't separate the art from the artist when the artist is bringing up things that we have a problem with. One of my friends, we were just talking about this. He mentioned that, R. Kelly, for example. Me and him talk about R. Kelly being an artist where you can't really do that because R. Kelly is talking about getting with these girls and doing XYZ with these girls. And these girls are underage. He's a pedophile. Obviously, you cannot separate those two because R. Kelly is a pedophile. Michael Jackson, however, he's also a pedophile, allegedly, and I think he is probably. He's also a pedophile. However, a lot of his music does not talk about him getting with all these women and stuff. He has different topics about love and different topics about just navigating life, being black and white, things like that. So it's very easy to separate those two, right? Kanye, and Anthony Fantano talks about this in his review, does bring up anti-Semitism a few times within his album, which is not him being anti-Semitic, but him bringing up the topics of him being anti-Semitic, right? He's making jokes, and I think they're very tasteless. I think they're really, really bad jokes, to be honest. If we're keeping it $1.50, $1.25, his jokes are dog water, bro. He says, how can I be anti-Semitic? I just fucked a Jewish bitch. Bro, that is probably the worst bar I've ever heard trying to defend yourself, bro. That's so bad. And he has a couple other bars about, now I put Jewish people on the staff in order, you can't say that I hate Jewish people, I have them on the staff, right? They work for me. Gang, not a good argument. And I, basically, the only way that I can perceive this from a Jewish person's perspective is to put myself in the shoes of if somebody was saying this about black people. If somebody's how can I hate black people? I just had sex with a black woman. Oh my gosh. I would up the stick and boom, 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 boom. I would be going crazy, bro. It'd be up. My whole YouTube would just be that person getting blown up. I don't know, bro. Or even being how can I be racist? I just put black people on the staff. Gang, I don't know if that's right. And that it's just crazy to me, bro. It's just crazy. I don't think he's necessarily being anti-Semitic, but he's talking about how he was anti-Semitic. You can't formally be in the KKK and then be joking about being in the KKK. Gang, it is not that funny. It is not that funny to do that. But I don't think he's anti-Semitic in those verses. I just think he has extremely poor taste. I think his taste is really bad. Like, it's not good. I'll tell you that right now. It's not good. But let's go through some of these other comments, because I think a lot of these takes are interesting. Vulture is number 1 in 108 country. No one cares. Imagine writing, if you are wondering why I don't post about this album, in a post that's literally about the album. I do think there's like some hypocrisy there. However, I don't think it's like that crazy. I don't really think it's that crazy. Now I'm gonna drop my own Vultures review probably Friday or Saturday, like 2 more days, 3 more days from this point. Just because like I do want to talk about it. I do want to give my opinion on it. I don't think he's being anti-Semitic in this album, so I don't really have a problem doing that. And I think it's important to talk about these like nuanced topics in a thoughtful and like thought out way. And I'm not profiting off of these videos because I'm not that big. So yeah, it really doesn't matter to me, to be honest. I'm going to make the video about it. I have seen a lot of people though, and I really don't like this take of like, oh, well, this album's number 1, so why is he saying that this album's so bad? I mean, an album can be number 1 and you think it's the worst album of all time. Like, I don't understand this like importance or this weight that's placed on critiques from random people. Even myself, like, I think you can find value in my critiques. I think you can appreciate that I am forming my own opinion and discussing it with the world. But, like, no critique should really be making or breaking your view of something. Right? Like, if I'm eating some ravioli, some Chef Boyardee's ravioli, and I'm like, this doesn't have enough pepper, this is terrible. You're not going to eat the Chef Boyardee and be like, I liked it at first, but he's right. There's not enough pepper. This is terrible. No, bro, like, you should like it if you like it. And there's going to be a lot of people. And, like, this is just my, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm growing up, but, like, my thought process of, like, a lot of people are going to try to influence you, try to, like, make you think how they think. Sometimes you don't need to do that. If some people have a good point, and you're like, okay, like, that's a good argument that they just made, let me adopt that, then I think that's fine. But just because it's somebody's opinion, you should not just follow that blindly. And I think a lot of people do it with Anthony Fantano. I think a lot of people do it with, like, Sean C., different reviewers. And some people will probably eventually do it with me when I'm big enough. But I don't think that should really be your basis of your whole opinion. Well, Anthony Fantano didn't like it, or Kayhon liked it. Like, no, like, tell me why you like it. Like, I want to know why you like it and why you dislike it. And, like, these people are like, well, it's number 1, so, like, he should like it. Or it's number 1, like, his opinion doesn't matter. Like, I don't know. It's kind of like a boring argument, I guess, to me. Like, I think that album went number 1, but to me, like, not to spoil my review, but I wasn't a huge fan, to be honest. Like, I was not the biggest fan of this album. I think he's had a lot of albums go number 1, and this was probably his worst one to go number 1. And I really like Kanye. I really like what he's done for the culture. I really like what he's done artistically, and he's inspired me in so many different ways. I was at his, like, first listening party in Chicago. Like, I really, really like Kanye, and I'd be willing to spend money on that. Like, but I'm not going to sit here and be the Kanye glazer that everybody expects me to be. I'm not going to be a Kanye glazer. But, however, I will defend Anthony Fantano because I do think he's doing cool, unique things. And I really, really value how he expresses his opinion, how he's so thought out with just his different topics, his different theories. Like, I really like that he puts so much time and effort into all these different things. And I think it's kind of, like, sad to, like, see him get so much hate for him just expressing why he feels uncomfortable reviewing an album. Like, I do think if he was going to take the most noble of stances, he would have just not reviewed it at all and just had his comments flooded with people being like, why aren't you reviewing Vultures? Why aren't you reviewing Vultures? That would be literally on his next 20 videos probably. So I do think he's at such a point where he needs to make a statement about why he's not reviewing it. And he did it in a very thoughtful and thought out way. Do I agree with everything that he said? No, I don't. I don't think I fully agree with everything he said. I think you can separate the art from the artist to an extent. I think Kanye is really towing the line, if not crossing it for me. But I'm not going to take the hardest stance of being like, I'm not going to review it. I think it's still like music from one of the biggest artists in the world, and I think it's important to discuss this kind of like being at this level and having such poor takes, being so rebellious, so controversial. Like, I think it's very important. It adds a lot of context to albums, and it probably will add a lot of context for albums in the future. Like, a lot of people will probably try to be on his controversial wave or be very like outspoken, I guess, on different topics, and maybe they shouldn't be. Like, that's just what Kanye is setting up the next generation to do, right? Like, that's just what he's doing. Now, this album may have gone number one. If you want to, you can ride them all you want. If that's what you want to do, you can ride them. You can ride them. I would have joined you at some point. Pause. But that's basically what I wanted to get off on this video. Another pause. But yeah, that's basically where I wanted to end this video off on. Thank you so much for everybody that supports me, everybody that has supported me. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody. I love you guys. Appreciate you guys so much. But yeah, last video that I just posted got like 7K views. New updates. Sorry, this is the part of the video where I just talk about crazy updates, new updates with the channel, with us, with everybody. But 7K views on my last video on TikTok. That was pretty huge. Instagram is like my Instagram is not doing good, bro. I think I gotta switch up content specifically on Instagram if I want to keep like gaining and like having traction. I think I'm gonna post like I'm gonna stream tonight, which is actually very rare. For you, you're gonna see it the day after. So I streamed last night, but I'm gonna stream tonight. I'm gonna get some clips from there, start editing them, and then putting them on Instagram, because I think that does the best. To be honest, I think that seems to be doing the best, at least for me. That's what I think. I'm not 100% sure. We're going to find out. We got to do some like different testing on different videos and things like that. So we're gonna peep it. We're gonna try and see what happens before I start this next wave of content. It's gonna be so crazy. It's gonna be so crazy. I'm working on it tonight, but I'm really excited for you guys to see that. I think it'll be my greatest creative endeavor so far, and I'm very, very, very excited about it. I wish I could speak on it, but like I don't want nobody like taking my idea yet. I want nobody taking my idea, and I want it to be very like a surprise when it drops. I want a trailer. I've thought this out now. I'm starting to actually think it out, and I know what I want to do. But that's pretty much it for my updates. How you guys doing? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think about this topic overall. If you think I'm wrong, please let me know. I really appreciate like critiques. If you think I'm right, please let me know. I appreciate the support. So, yeah, I love you guys and appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. Peace out. Be smooth.